down into the pit. And it's going to be closed caskets. It's going to be curtains. Closed curtains. That show, that game, that shit is over with.
Oh my God.
This is how God wants you to know.
Good night. Good night, good night, good night, Instagram. Sorry, I was listening to something on YouTube. Should probably put something on. I don't even have a topic to talk about tonight, to be honest with you. I really don't. I just wanted to check in because I said I would. Today was a busy day. You know, a lot of days are busy days, to be honest with you. It's a new routine, it's a new schedule, it's a new direction for my life. It's very different. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm relaxing because obviously there's still a lot to do, but I'm relaxing. And I'm just like I'm healing and I'm appreciating like how far I've come. This is such a bizarre thing that I've gone through. Like I come on live, I post my videos, and I do not watch the videos again because like one time I was even crying on live, and that's one thing I do not do. I don't, to be honest with you, I cried in the beginning, and then in the middle I didn't cry. In the middle I was just strong. And then I feel like I was crying because I felt like God was like, you're angry and you need to heal and you need to, part of healing is forgiveness. And I'm like, forgive who? But you know, I've come to my own conclusion, and I don't know if this is the conclusion God wanted me to come to or not, but I've come to my conclusion that I need to let go of the anger because I understand exactly what's going on here. And I understand that sometimes blessings just come wrapped up in a different way. And at my core, I really understand that there were people suffering with this for so long that were not as strong as me, that couldn't handle this thing. And for better or for worse, I've showed the people that were trapped in there that it's possible that someone can do it. That's why I had to put out my video explaining how to survive gang stalking from every angle I could think of, that it's safe for me to put information out. There's a lot of stuff that I can't put out at this moment that would really help, that would be very beneficial, but I can't do anything about that right now because that would put my safety in jeopardy. But you know, as much as I can say that I can tolerate, you know, and that's pretty much the bulk of it. What I put out there in my video saying how to survive gang stalking, it's like if you follow that alone, and if you start thinking in that way, and if that becomes your mentality, like, I just need to get through it, I just need to survive, people survive it, I just need to get through one day at a time, and I just have to resist, and this is how I heal my body, and this is how I heal my mind, and this is what they're trying to do, and then this is how I can strike back. And for the fact that I've come on here and I've put the name and the face of the person behind it means now when I tell my story, people can correlate what they went through and match it up with what I've gone through and realize that this is the same person, it's the same organization. And you know, I was getting not discouraged to talk because I got over coming on live like that. I didn't like doing that in the beginning, but doing it every day, just committing to that has really helped. But let me just lower this volume. But I really got to a point where I was irritated that I had to keep coming back and talking about it, because I'm like, how am I supposed to heal something when every time I talk about it, it's like I'm reliving the situation. It's like pulling the scab off over and over and over again. It's like, and then they did this and then they did that. And I'm feeling victimized, because when I went through it, I wouldn't allow myself to feel like a victim. I wouldn't allow myself to feel like, someone's done this to me. But now at the end, looking back, it's like upsetting me that this happened, because it's like, what an outrage. Like, what a violation of someone's basic human rights, So regardless of that, you know what? I'm still not upset at myself or I don't regret being angry. It is only a normal reaction to the kind of crazy stuff I've gone through. That's why I haven't deleted my videos. I don't regret the energy that I was in and the face that I displayed. It's only normal for any human being going through that. If you've survived, you're going to be angry. And a part of healing is you are going to go through the stages of it. And, every day I think I heal a layer of myself more and more. Every day I get stronger. I've come such a long way. I've taken a huge load off of myself, but I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy with myself. I think I couldn't have done better. I don't think I could have done anything better. I did my best. I put my whole foot in this situation. I used my common sense as best as possible. I was alert. I took my time with thinking about outcomes. I wasn't impulsive. I waited a long, long, long time to stand on my word. If I said I was going to do something, I didn't do it right away. I waited a long time in a lot of instances to do the things that I said in the beginning I was going to do, to take the things away from them and disempower them in the way that I have. And in a huge way, I feel like I just did the world a huge service. Actually, yes, I did the world a huge service. A lot of dirty practitioners, dirty witches, dirty people have been taken down in one fell swoop. A lot. It's like as many people that were involved in this situation that were connected to it, everybody's facing the same thing. And I think the biggest thing that it was really shocking that people didn't realize is they devoted the entire 2023 to me and nothing else. It was 24-hour a day antagonization mode on just me. There was nobody else that they were focused in on. And because of that, what ended up happening is they didn't focus any time on themselves. But even better than that, I'm pretty sure the quality of work for other victims was slipping substantially. There was no time. I was the important one because I was promised and because a lot of money and resources were being put into me. And not just a lot of money and resources, but the client who paid for me is very pushy, is very aggressive, and is very dangerous. So of course that's going to be the client that you want to appease first, and that's the client that's going to keep giving. That's the consistent business. That's where the big money is. So that's where the huge future was going to be. And it was worth it for them to put all that effort in me. It was worth it to have, all these people working on me every single night. Like I'm talking about 365 days for 2024, the entire year, up until New Year's. They did it. Christmas, it was like back to back to back to back. Like I fed families for 2023. People ate because of me. Gangstalkers had money in their pockets for 2023 because of me, and now they gotta pay it back because it was a job not done. I look at myself and I'm like, I look vibrant, I look happy, and it's so crazy because I go back and I watch my video. Well, I watched a clip of a video. So in the beginning, I watched a clip of one of the videos and I was like laughing and I'm like, you're ruthless. When I get mad, I'll just say anything. Like, and I must have said something. And at the end of it, I was like, and you can go see my ancestors in hell. And I was like, bitch. And they're calling you a witch and you talking like that. But it's like, if somebody says something to you so crazy, it's like, I might as well. Because I guess they're wondering, like, how come she's not dead? How come she's not in a hospital? How come she's not stressed out? Like, why is she still walking around? And I know today it's crazy because, yo, it's too many days in a row where nobody knows where I am. It's too many days in a row where they cannot find me. So I know it's like every day they're like, watch tomorrow, watch tomorrow. And the same thing happens again. And I know for the fact that the window of seeing into my life is closed right now. That is driving people crazy. How do you attack and you're in the dark and you don't know what it is? And you don't even know when your karma's gonna hit. And you're back to the kitchen magic from whence you started. You're back to those, those little potions or whatever the hell they were doing before, because it's not the same. It's very weak. It's very weak. The work is weak. If it comes, because strength is not there, and it's like, why keep beating this dead horse? But a person must go to the bitter end, and I respect it. It is what it is. Let it be. Like, I was never one saying, hey, stop, hey, this is a bad idea. Everybody else around was saying that. Stop, let this thing go, it's a bad idea. I wasn't saying that. Nobody asked themselves why. No one said, why isn't she asking for this to stop? If you have knowledge of how this thing works, then all it means is that you just didn't respect me at all. And you didn't respect my ancestors or my protection. Because you know how it works when you give away your energy. You know what it... Come on, man. But it's like, listen, I got mad in the summer when I got the new location in Vaughan. I thought, at Village at Vaughan Mills, I thought that was my new beginning. And I thought, okay, everything is going to come back. And I'm going to be good. And this is my new beginning. And then it's like it started a different cycle. Like the work got stronger. I was like, wait a minute, this feels like an upgrade. This is an upgrade. What is this? This is crazy. And when all of that was happening, it was like, that was when I really had to talk to God, like God the Father. Like, I've been with Mother the whole time. I'm like, Mother, wait, I gotta have a word. And I was like, listen, what is this? And we had a conversation, and people are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is the honest truth. I communicate with Mother all the time. My ancestors, everyone, all the time. Father does not speak ever, does not say anything, does not come off the throne, just sits there. And I swear to God, after I was done, and they all sat there patiently listening, and as soon as I was done, God said, trust me. 2 words, trust me. Yo, I just felt honored to hear the words. I was like, say less. Say nothing more. Don't even tell me the plan. I don't need to know. Something is cooking. I get you. I got you. Like, that was it for me. I told my friend this story, and it's like, whenever I talk to this particular person, like, I know we both get chills because we're on the same page. Like, I was like, listen, God said, trust me. And like the biggest smile comes over their face, and it's like, you just know. Like, when you just know, you know. And it's like ever since from then, I'm just like, hey, whatever happens, happens. I already knew I was gonna be fine. I just thought this was not gonna go as long as it did. I already knew I was gonna be fine. So it's like by the time I got to this place where it's like the end of the year and I'm seeing things coming back into alignment despite the fact that there's still so much going on, despite the fact that people still want to hold on to me and hold on to the situation, I was like, look it, I don't even need to know the day, the hour, the minute. I just know. And there's always a change in the atmosphere of when different things are going to occur. So you can always see when the changes are happening, and it's like, the spiritual broadcast system, as I call it, just starts calling for like, this is going to happen and that is going to happen. And when you start hearing it everywhere and seeing it everywhere, you're like, okay. So, it's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year because as soon as you take power away from situations, you don't have to be on the roller coaster anymore. Things are just going to happen. And this is why I gave my survival guide and I said, don't look them in the eye, don't engage, don't do any of that. Just like leave it alone. In the beginning, when I was instructed to do that, it was like, well, why? I want to be angry and I want to, talk back and do this and that. But it was like, no. Discipline yourself to not give your energy away to the situation. Relax and don't do this and don't fight back and don't raise your hand and don't whatever, because this had to be done in a specific way. And it really is just trusting God with blind faith. And that was one of the lessons that God said. You have to learn how to let go of control. I had control issues. Okay. I wanted everything to be something that I can anticipate. I like to know my next step. I like to know why it's being done this way, how it's being done, how long it's going to take. And God's like, no, just relax. Just relax. It'll happen, in my time. So it's just been, oh my God, it's just been such a situation this entire time, and even when I was getting upset, having to retell this story, having to relive this story over and over again with different parts of it that I've told, and I'm not even done telling this story. So much has happened. God knows, God sees when I'm like, why, if I'm supposed to be healing it, am I talking about it? Because in past, I just move on from situations. I kill them. Mentally, I take my energy away and I leave. But this one was so aggressive. This one was such a coordinated, planned attack. This was an assault. They jumped me spiritually. Like, this is worse than being jumped, actually. Like, this was like being jumped every day. Every single day for 365. And they did all of that just to lose to one girl. With all that money and all that manpower and all those resources, to lose to one girl and not even have results that you can say, okay, well, at least she did this, at least she lost that, at least she stumbled. It's like, it just walked away. The same way I was walked into the situation, and I keep saying I'm going to tell that story, but the same way I was walked into the situation is the same way I slow motion walked out of the situation. Like, didn't run, didn't buy a plane ticket and hop to another country, none of the above. Just got up and just was like, all right, well, my time here is done. And man, it's crazy. It's like I needed some of the reminders though of why I'm telling my story. I needed those reminders, and I've gotten some of those reminders, and I'm constantly being prompted, I'm constantly being helped, I'm constantly being guided, which I'm super grateful for. Safi, can you come for 2 seconds? Grab that for me. Yeah. Constantly being guided, constantly being, taken care of, constantly being helped. And I don't know, some days are just a day to just have a good day. And I feel like the biggest message that I can have, I'll probably keep this at 30 minutes today because I don't have any specific thing to talk about. I just want to make sure I come on here. I think the most important thing that I can say to anyone is, if I can do it, now you know how to do it. And now, hopefully, if we're lucky, and I think we will be, is that there won't be people who feel confident, at least in this city, to restart doing stuff like this. I think this is a huge lesson. I think the desperation led to enough people being involved, that enough people were affected, and enough karma will come down, and this thing will really be exposed in a way where it'll finally be taken seriously, that victims don't have to be so scattered and not know that other people exist. I'm just happy for people to know that there are other people who've gone through this, and finally we can see someone who's emerged not as a victim but as a survivor, and eventually a victor. Eventually there will be tangible results of a win, and this to me is for people everywhere. I've seen the victims myself, and when I come on here and I talk about giving advice, and that there also be people in this organization that can escape, I'm not talking about people that have been happy to take money to destroy people. I am talking about the victims that I know that were forced in. Majority women, women that are scared and that have to look left and right before they come out of the door. Women that are bullied to do something and that cry. Women that have mental health issues now. Women that are terrified. Women that had no idea how they're still standing and how they even remotely got through this. I'm here for them. So my anger and my aggression is for them. It's for them. And they need to know that. And I think just everybody who's gone through this needs to know that you don't have to come out of this, as a victim, that there are ways for you to fight back, that there are ways for you to clear these hurdles. And, there's so many times I've thought back to the people that I've seen that have gone through this, and I've just been so emotional. And it's just been, I would cry more for them than I would for myself, because I can see myself in them, and I can also see that they're very soft people. I can see that they're kind-hearted people, that they're hard-working women, women with good hearts and good souls. And I don't know what it is about this monster that those are the people that trigger them the most. That is to me just, I don't understand it. It's an envy that is so bad. It's definitely a spirit. It's definitely like an entity. It's not just envy. It's not just a little bit of jealousy. It's like crazy. It's like narcissism on steroids, where a person cannot see another person if they don't compare themselves or in comparison to themselves. And I find that to be just, quite frankly, he doesn't deserve life. He doesn't deserve life. He should not be here. Him in particular should not be here. The time is now. It's up. It's done. And if he's gonna be here, he has to be in a box, in a cage, safe away from other people, and only surrounded by criminals who can handle him, by men. Because he abuses women. So he should see what it feels like to be the coward, to be the physically weak one, and somebody else is beating up on you every single day. And that's exactly what's going to happen to him when he goes away. That is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to be the victim. It's absolutely, to me, freeing. It is healing. It is, I don't even know, it's liberating. They can't do their job the way that they should. There are blockages on their path to doing this. Every day is a new nightmare. And absolutely everything that he does, anything that his hands touches, works in my favor. That's just the way it's set up. Everything his hand touches works in my favor. Everything. And it's been that way for a while, and he knows that. As soon as he sends energy, it's just alchemized into blessings. Every single time. You know, and it's crazy for me to have gone through that level of attack and for me to be the one who's relaxed out of everybody. You know, you'd think that your antagonizers would be the ones that would be relaxed, but I'm at peace. I'm at peace with myself. I'm calm. You know, I don't have to face this abuse anymore. And I really want to, you know, share that with people as a sign of hope that yes, you can go through this thing, but you know, it's even better for you. It's not going to come as a surprise. You can make a decision to leave. And again, I'm not talking about aggressive people who want to stay there, who want these things to work, who want to make money off of this. I'm talking about people who were victims and they now have to do this dirty work themselves. Because it's one thing for someone to make you a victim, but it's another thing that after they make you a victim, they turn it around and make you do it to other people as well. Like re-victim, like that's a horrible thing to live. And I've seen so many aspects of it. I've seen the little soft ladies who basically come in, and I know that their job is supposed to be to say something negative to me and they don't say it. Or they start saying it and their voice trails off, or it's like they know what this did to them. Because it didn't turn everybody evil. It turned a bunch of them evil. You know, but there are certain people that it's like you are not part of this. You're energetically and from your heart, you're not part of this. And there's people that I think of specifically, and God sees that. God sees that. And, you know, everybody in there has to pay karma one way or the other. And that's unfortunate. Even if you were sucked into it as a victim, it's unfortunate because that's the way it goes. For me, I came in as, you know, I didn't even end up getting in. They were forcefully recruiting me. I didn't even end up in. But from a spiritual aspect, it's like I was forced energetically to be a part of that. So like I said, once they put money on your books, whether you know it or not, whether you see it or not, by the time you figure it out, it doesn't matter. You got to get rid of everything. Everything is going to fall one way or the other. So if it was this difficult for me and I still had to go through the karma of it, it's like everybody's going to face the karma of it. But nobody's going to face more karma. Nobody's going to face more karma than John Ferreira and the Brazilian. Those two are at the front of the line because that's what it's like to be a leader. That's the cost of being a leader. It's like that's how it is to be king. You know, at the end of a war, you're the one who's beheaded. It's your head that they actually want. I mean, your physical head. They want to chop it off and they want to take it back to their kingdom and they want to mount it. They want to take it in front of the crowd and hold it up and roar. And then the crowd roars in return. That's what happens. So if you're the king, then it's going to be your head planted on a stake outside of the kingdom. You know, whose head is it who's going to be more significant? So no one's going to face it as badly as those two. I'm happy to unearth exactly who this person is, and I'm going to do a little bit of a profile on him as well, so you guys can understand what this person is like. I'm glad this person finally gets to experience their own energy and see what it feels like to be gang stalked and to have everything taken away from you. and to have someone manifest a new beginning on your energy. I'm not saying that's what I did, but we'll see how things work, right? Yeah, it's crazy. And to have it happen as a collective is probably even more bizarre because there's no help. How can anybody help you? They need help themselves, right? So I think it's really good to experience your energy. And now I get to experience my energy, which is amazing. That's why people can't really get under my skin with stuff, because it's like, listen, I've experienced my energy before and it's amazing. I don't ever have to feel bad about myself. I don't ever have to feel insecure. Like, I know what it feels like to be myself, and I know what it feels like to experience myself. And that is what I deserve. So I hope, despite some of the scary stuff that I talk about, and I hope despite maybe listening to what I'm talking about is reliving a horror scene or a horrific incident that people have gone through. And like I said, I re-listened to one of my videos, not in its entirety. Actually, it was a clip from the stories I listened to, and I was like, Jesus, if I was listening to this, I would think to myself, what has this girl been through? Like, this is scary stuff that I'm saying. But I hope that my calmness and my demeanor, and just my vibrant energy just shows people, like, listen, you can come out of it. And also the other phases that I go through when I come, and some days I'm livid and other days I'm in a petty energy and other days I'm smug. Whatever it is, whatever energy I come in is my authentic energy, and it's an authentic reflection of healing. It is the authentic journey of healing. I'm purging, I'm reflecting. I have every right to feel proud of myself. I have overcome something that was meant to be insurmountable, and I did it not on my own, but physically on my own, with a whole spiritual army and a spiritual team with me. Absolutely. And insane amounts of guidance. I mean, I didn't have to go looking for answers. Answers were hunting me down. It was like I was getting everything. I got all kinds of guidance, spiritual, that is. And it took me on a journey and it leveled me up. I am stronger than I've ever been. I'm wiser than I've ever been. I am more powerful than I've ever been. Just in every way, spiritually and emotionally. And I am absolutely in love with my spirit guides and my spirit teams and mother in particular. And I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. And you can't convince me that I'm not. There's no way. And I shouldn't call it luck, because I had to work hard for it. It wasn't easy. They didn't make anything easy. They made me eat every brick. I had to go through every single thing, and they were not easy on me. I'm talking about my spirit guides. It wasn't like you're gonna go through gang stalking and you can just focus on that. It's like I have to focus on keeping business locations open, keeping food on the table, keeping bills paid, taking care of finances, taking care of like my kids, taking care of myself mentally. Like, there was a lot to it. So it wasn't just like, that's all I get to do is sit down at home and focus on that. No. And even in this healing period, I'm back to Bobbette the Builder. I gotta rebuild my life. I have to rebuild, facets of my business. I gotta rebrand. I have to grow. It's like, it's not easy to go through this, and grown men have consistently folded where I've stood strong. And this is not to shame anyone, because you need a spiritual army for what they set up. And he still won't give up, even in the face of defeat. If he has 1 ounce of energy in his body and he gets the opportunity, he's gonna squeeze his butt cheeks as tight as he can, and he's gonna squeeze some spell work out. just to, even if all he could do is try to irritate my mood for the day. And it's so crazy because I just take that energy and I put a smile on my face and I continue my day. What are you gonna do? We're not fighting. We're not fighting with monsters. I'm just really happy for the lesson. I can't believe I'm saying that because I would have preferred not to learn this lesson. But when I just look at what I came out with, I'm gonna need these things. I'm gonna need to be as strong and as resilient and as focused and not as easily distracted. And I just had to tighten up on so much stuff and know who to give my good energy to and learn who to give my kindness to and my vulnerability to. I mean, I kind of already knew. To be honest, I kind of was already this person. I was just very well cloaked. I really was this person. Like, it was just like a reflex to just get back to this. It was like, no, I'm really trying to be nice. And it was like, nah, they're serious. All right, fuck it, let's go. But at least now there's a balance. Because I have to say, before, when I've been in my Aries energy, I've been overkill. I've been too much, which is why I didn't like being in it. I've been too fiery. It's been too much. Now I know how to balance between the two, between the sweetheart and between the Aries, between the Libra and between the Aries. I can balance the two out very nicely. So, I can still attract and retain all the goodness and the love and the energy and the positivity that I need to. I can still connect to people. And then I can set up, very firm boundaries very quickly. Very quickly. Non-negotiable boundaries. And if I really have to, if they insist, I can go to war too if I need to. We could do that way as well, if that is what people want to do, But the best part in all my lessons is really learning how to protect myself so that a war doesn't have to begin. People can understand the energy that they're putting towards me very quickly without me doing too much and expending too much energy. They can understand what they're going to be starting, what they're going to be getting themselves into before it gets to this point next time. Because somebody's going to try me again. Somebody's not going to hear the story and somebody's going to try me again. But at least they can get an opportunity to think twice. Because this right here, this was leading somebody down to the guillotine for sure. For sure. This was a setup. This was a setup. This was a hit. For sure. Spirit world wanted somebody's head. The whole underworld wanted someone's head. Ain't no damn way. That's a menace for the whole underworld and heaven to unite. What did you guys do? Damn. Two opposing worlds come together. I mean, geez. But, I always say God hears everybody's cries. People think that when they cry, innocent, good people think that when they cry, God doesn't hear them, and God hears it. It's just that you can't feel God and you can't hear God. So you think God's not there, but God hears. God, I just want, like, anybody who has suffered through this or who knows someone who suffered through this, like, God heard every single cry. God heard every single prayer. And sometimes it's like God's not the one that makes you deal with your enemy or someone who's opposed you or hurt you. God sends someone else to do that for you. Somebody who can stand through the fire and stay in the fire long enough for the work to be completed. Somebody who's equipped to the job. God sends somebody else. And 100% that person was me. 100%. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to keep it really short. I just want to send hope and encouragement tonight, to be honest with you. That's why I didn't plan to go into anything. I want to send hope and encouragement and love, okay, to people who are isolated right now, who are scared to connect to people, who have PTSD, who are just nervous, who feel like they're being watched, who nobody's listening to and no one's helping and they have no way of proving it. I want to send you hope. I've seen it. I've seen it all. I've seen everything. I was forced to stay in it until I saw everything. And I just want to let you know, God sees everything. God hears everything. And you will get to see the faces and know the names and see the families of the people behind this torture. It has to occur. It has to occur. The fact that I am here on a public platform talking about it and they can't do a thing about it and I walk free, that is your hope. That's vindication enough. Because trust me, in the middle of me going through this, if I saw someone making these kind of videos and they were saying I walk free, I'd be like, hell yeah. And you know what? If I saw someone, making the kind of videos I was making in the beginning, telling them where to go, oh, I would be replaying that. If that had 1,000 views, maybe 700 would be from me alone, because I would keep replaying it, because it'd be like, get him for me, get him one more time. Trust me, I threw a couple punches with a couple people in mind. God, I was like, listen, this can't exist. Early on, there was this lady that I met. I keep talking about, I keep thinking about her. And I talked to God about it. And I was like, listen, this cannot be. How can you allow this? This cannot be. I cannot allow this. This is crazy. This is crazy. And God knows how you are. And God put these people in my path on purpose so I could see them. Because God knows my heart. And that would have really pissed me off either way. So it's like, that alone made me say, nah, people are not escaping this. And that's where it got to the point where it's like, nah, you guys got to go to jail. And not just jail, you have to face every ending that you put people through. Every single one. All of you, all of you, all of you, all of you. So I'm going to leave it here. Shout out to Mother. Thank you. Shout out to Father. Thank you. Shout out to my ancestors. Shout out to the readers who helped, people who gave advice, people who came around and I saw your anger and your hurt and your resentment. I saw you were being bullied. I saw you were being forced. People who avoided, people who didn't want to do it, people who were standing outside the store but they were upset with an upset face because they didn't want to be there. People who just in their heart said this is not right, even if they couldn't say it out of their mouth. People who showed compassion. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. God has you. I promise. I know it just sounds like empty words right now. I am one to talk because I have been like, God, when? Like, what is going on? But I promise it's all about patience and it's all about faith. As above, so below. I promise you, they're already binded up in the spirit. They have been for the year. And shout out to January. It is the anniversary of when I reported John Ferreira to the RCMP. And I think by February he found out the bad news that a very major opportunity was taken away from him and he could never get it again because his name had been red flagged. So it is our anniversary of the backfiring of the death spells. So, God has I'm not going to say a sense of humor, but the spirit world has an order to it. There's anniversaries and they know what they wished on me, so they know what's coming back. So just stay tuned. Go to Costco and get a box of popcorn because you're going to need popcorn on more than one occasion. And keep your remote close because people want it to be internationally known. And God said, okay. My God that they call a genie. My mother, that they call a genie my mother. The disrespect is crazy. But anyways, thank you guys. Good night. And check out the YouTube. Like and subscribe. Like so that, YouTube knows that people are watching my videos and it'll help my algorithm. And subscribe so you can keep up with my videos, especially if people don't want to come in the live for whatever reason. You can watch it on YouTube without even logging in. So there's always that. But thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.